We on here another episode of Karai's podcast at Solano Community College. I am your host, Karai, and I have a special guest today, Isaiah Randle.
Thank you for having me, cousin.
How you doing?
Good.
So, I want to get everybody enlightened on who you are as a person. Basically, go to Isaiah's world, and I'll start off with how was like growing up. Basically, like starting off being an athlete. What sport really got you engaged first? And like, what really like stuck with you, basically going to middle school?
I would definitely say basketball is my first love when we're talking about sports. Mm-hmm. And even though every single Sunday you cannot contact me, I will not pick up a phone, and I do love football, basketball will always be my favorite sport. And I think what really made me fall in love was watching Allen Iverson. Mm-hmm. I remember I had little headbands, I had the little ring bands, little fake tattoos and all that.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I was for sure doing this thing back then. I want to say, back to another question of basically being a kid. Cause I seen that you basically played football, you feel me, in high school. So, yeah. How was your basically like football experience basically when you was at Pee-wees and all that type of stuff like that?
Before high school?
Yeah, before you got to, feel me.
Okay, so pretty much. Before high school, I played for the Solano Warriors local team. I think they changed their name and color, so they might not be a team anymore. But long story short, I'm a Solano Warrior legend, played quarterback, played safety. You can look me up right now on YouTube. You'll find me.
Did it all, okay.
I did it all, yes sir. You know how I get down.
Okay, you feel me? Now, I want to say, going off, so basically you played football for the Solano Warriors. Basically, going to decision, 8th grade graduation, everybody basically going their separate ways. Was there a particular school you wanted to go to before choosing De La Salle, or was De La Salle always your number one option?
The funny thing is, we actually had a plan, me and yourself included, because we went to the same middle school in 8th grade. So we were supposed to go to Vannon together or Fairfield together. But anyway, we were supposed to go to high school together, but things didn't pan out. You ended up going to Manisha. I ended up going to De La Salle, and yeah.
So I want to say, after going to De La Salle, tell us about De La Salle experience. Not too many people actually been to the school or from the outside looking in. All we see is basically an organization that consistently wins. Can you tell us about the program and basically your experience being there for 3 years?
It's completely different. I tell you that. It's not like a regular high school where you just coming in and you just coming to play football. You're gonna have some fun. Nah, I was a freshman. I was only 13 years old. I had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday. But
it gets tiring.
Yeah, my entire summer was dedicated to football, and it was a drive. It's a 45-minute drive there and back. So my entire day I'm occupied. I'm putting in that grind 9 to 5 just like a grown man, you know, but yeah.
All right, so basically, saying from experience, De La Salle, can you actually give us what's like, how are the coaches like, how are the teachers? Give us like basically like not even saying experience, but I want to say, give us.
I got you.
Give us like the football aspect of how that was, like how are the coaches like?
So growing up in Richmond and Fairfield, you know that majority of the people look like you and myself, right? Mm-hmm. I went to De La Salle, and they was looking like Cameron. So everybody, it was completely different vibe. You know, I was just trying to find myself. But it was a brotherhood. Like they opened their arms and they accepted me. And that's not the reaction that I was gonna get. I thought I was gonna get a reaction like, who is this new guy? We never seen him before, because a lot of those cats, they grew up playing football together in the same Pop Warner teams and all that. So I was the new face around, and I originally went up there for basketball. I didn't even go up there for football.
Oh, so okay, so you really wanted to hoop first, but saying I'm gonna start playing football. Okay.
Basically, so the coach, I was working out with the hoop team. And then the coach, he just came up to me like, are you playing football? You want to play? I'm like, nah, coach, football not really like I used to play, but that's not really my cup of tea. And then he was like, man, I really want you to come out here. Just come out for one practice, one trial. I'm like, You know, all right, coach, I'll do it. I talked to my dad about it. He was like, man, if you want to do it, if your heart's in it, you should do it. And I'm like, you know, forget it. I'm just going to try it out. So I went out there, and they was like, Randle, we want you to play quarterback. I'm like, man, I wasn't even supposed to play football. Now y'all got me playing quarterback. De La Salle, nationwide known, has not lost to a team in Northern California in over 50 years. You want me to start for y'all? I was supposed to be a hooper. But
So I would say after you feel me start playing football, junior year you want to state championship. Basically the highlight basically any high school career is basically winning the state championship for athlete wise. Tell us about that feeling basically when that clock hit 0 and y'all basically knew y'all basically won it.
that was definitely a significant time in my life. There's not too many times, not too many people that can say they won a state championship, especially in Division I, which is the most competitive division.
Yeah, before they did open division out of nowhere.
The open division. Well, it was open division at the time, so yeah, you're right about that. But I didn't even really get to enjoy how I really wanted to enjoy it because I was always I never really had a good feeling with De La Salle. They brought me in to play quarterback, and I did my thing. I was obviously the best player on that team. Same thing sophomore year, obviously the best player on that team, getting 3 touchdowns a game. And they don't want to bring me up to varsity. But they bring 2 players up, and eventually they don't even play the next year. So we go up our junior year, they didn't even play for the varsity team. They said they quit football. So I always had a bad feeling about that. That didn't really sit right with me because I felt like I was dedicating way too much of my life, and they rubbed me kind of the wrong way. And then, so yeah, I enjoyed it, and then, but I just never really felt like I was loved by De La Salle High School, so it wasn't really like my championship. It was kind of the guys. I was only a junior too. I did have a key role in that team, but that wasn't really like my championship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So basically, like Matt Barnes, the Warriors, basically when he won a championship with the KD and him, but he feel like he's like I don't deserve this.
Basically.
Okay. So going forward, I want to say after you, De La Salle, you end up transferring schools.
Yeah.
Senior year, feel like potentially that was your best year.
Yeah, I ended up transferring schools my junior year because I played 7-on-7 that spring. In between my junior year and senior year, I played 7-on-7 with KT Prep, and I played with a quarterback. I used to play receiver. I played with a quarterback, and we had this connection. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, if I go play on a team with him in high school, I know I can get out. Because in De La Salle, they're known as a system. The system is good every single year. It doesn't matter who plays in
players,
it.
Definitely.
Exactly. So, it's kind of hard to separate yourself in that system unless you're a defensive player specifically. And I was more of an offensive player at the time. So I was like, I think the best decision for myself was to transfer and go play receiver next to this dude. And we made it happen. And my very first game, my senior year, I had 3 touchdowns before halftime. So I knew I made the right decision.
Yeah, you knew you was him for sure. So
G.O.D.
So after basically your senior season, now we're going to college. You're going to Arizona for me, D1,
Yeah.
Pac-12 school. Can you tell me about basically your first year at Arizona? How was it like going to such a big college?
Yeah.
Specifically, not even just any particular big college. Pac-12's Pac-12. So that speaks for itself.
Yeah, I think that was definitely my biggest offer, and that's what made me want to go there so bad. It's Pac-12. You want to play there. And then when I got there, I was only 17 years old when I first arrived at campus. I'm young for my class, so I'm always a little bit younger than everybody. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't very mature at the time. On the field, I got it. It's nothing, it's just hopping on a bike and riding. I'm better than people. But off the field, I still had a lot of growth to do as a person, as an individual, as a student. I was only 17 years old. I was living reckless. I was by myself for the first time really ever. So, I'm just doing whatever, not taking care of business how I'm supposed to do. And it ended up biting me in the butt because I know I could have played that year. I know I could have played that next year. But I ended up transferring due to my situation and not taking care of business.
All right, say after Arizona, basically, you had base transfer a couple different colleges. Can you tell me what was going through your head during that time frame of basically like just bouncing around for a little bit, trying to find the right fit?
Yeah, so when I left Arizona, I wasn't really sure if I continued to play football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mind was, I had to get my mind readjusted before I played sports. Before I did anything extra on the side, I had to get myself right. So I ended up doing that, and then I came out to, I went to DVC right after going to University of Arizona. And I wasn't really familiar with JUCO life. I didn't know how the program went. I didn't know how serious everything was taken. I just thought it was a joke. I thought I was gonna come back, they was gonna play me, and things was gonna be sweet. It wasn't like that. There was a lot of politics involved. You're gonna have to wrap it up soon, but it's all good.
That wasn't for you, that was for me, bro.
You know, whatever.
Continue talking now.
Lost my train of thought now.
All right, well, basically, we got a life and death of Isaiah Randle. Basically, his upbringing with football and sports. This is another, we gotta wrap it up. It's another episode of Karai's podcast at Solano Community College. My special guest, Zay, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You feel me? That's it.